And then you were just like a wild cowboy out on the streets. Like,
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, but then the thing that like made it more difficult, I think, was after that first year, I went on 3 tours back to back. So basically, my second year here,
You weren't here.
I wasn't here at all. And then my third year, that's when I like really started to try to get footing. And then the 4th year was COVID. And then
And so now
that's
you're in
when
your 6th year.
yeah, and then 5 and 6, I moved to Santa Monica to the west side, and I already had built a solid friend group and like
Found a bunch of hot chicks over there.
yeah, yeah, dude, it's the west side is great. I love it.
The west side's the Southie of LA.
yeah.
Would you say so?
I feel like I can live there and be very comfortable in myself and not feel too much like there's this weird energy in LA that like this pressure energy in all big cities, I think. Like LA and New York.
Hollywood specifically.
Hollywood, you really feel it.
For sure.
The Valley, like it's still there. It just feels, I don't know, like
You feel like you're in it.
feel
Like
enclosed almost.
you're in the snake pit, brother.
And it's like 115 degrees outside in the summer. Like it's a lot.
And you don't know what to expect.
But then you go by the ocean, and then I always feel like the ocean is this just suck.
Are we rolling? Here, we'll let you.
Yeah.
Oh, is it recording?
I always cut before, just so.
Do you want us to clap to sync?
No.
Okay. You can clap. Go ahead.
Okay.
Continue though. Your thoughts.
Yeah.
And then I'll introduce you afterwards.
Okay, word. I feel like that there's all these humans on land, right? And we're emitting our different energies, good, bad energies. And then you get to the ocean and there's no humans for like hundreds and thousands of miles. And that's just like an energy suck that just refreshes that part of the land. So that's why I feel like the beach just takes all the bad voodoo shit that's going on in LA
And just
like
cuts it off.
cleans it and then like gives you fresh perspective.
But with that philosophy, doesn't mean that there's an excess amount of negative energy on the beach itself. And then when you hit the water, you're clean.
Because it's all coming there. Yeah.
Because it's all stopping right there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like it maybe just just keeps going.
It dissipates.
It just dissipates. And then there's nothing there to like hold it in. So it's like just pulling it.
Being from Boston, it's interesting that you're a beach guy.
Yeah.
Have you always been drawn to the beach?
Yeah.
Like, did you go to the Cape growing up?
Yeah.
Okay.
We went to the Cape like every summer, and then my mom's side of the family would go to Mexico every Christmas vacation.
Cancun?
And spend like a week. Cancun and Cabo, we'd switch off. But I always loved warmer climates and the beach.
Well, you're Filipino, right?
Yeah.
You think it's genetic?
I don't know, probably.
How do you? Well, so Killian's Irish. No. How do you feel in a warm climate? You feel like you're at home? You'd rather be in the savage, wintry cold.
I'd rather be in the sun, but I don't feel at home in the sun, if you know what I mean.
You'd rather be in a cave alone. I'm with you there. We come from a long line of Irish savages who are out there in the fields scraping eyes out for potatoes.
Yeah.
Just want a little teaspoon of water to stay alive. Okay. Who's in the room? Give me a shout, brethren.
Killian Dillon, co-producer on the show.
You look great, man. Your hair looks awesome. Who's engineering today?
Gio Geronimo.
That's his real name is Gio Geronimo.
That's sick.
And on my
Gio
right,
Geronimo.
camera left, we haven't been doing a great job branching out. Like everyone we've had is on from the East Coast thus far.
Boston bread.
I know, dude. Well, I was saying to you, I think and I've said it a couple times, I think there's like you can tell right away if someone's from the East Coast, except you'd probably be the hardest to tell from the East Coast of everyone.
Yeah,
I've
you
met
gotta
here this
talk
far.
to me first.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But Kai, thank you for coming, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
You're like an LA vet. So we just
Somewhat.
want to pick your brain on what the city's like.
I'm working my way up there. I was talking to, I'm working on building my live show right now, and I had this sound guy come over, who's from LA, and I was like, oh yeah, I've been here for 6 years, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm from here, but I always say like when someone reaches 10 years, then they're LA. I'm like, damn, I'm not there yet. But
do you feel like
getting there.
the city has stripped you of your grit and made you a more relaxed person, or?
I feel like I was always kind of like that before I came here.
You do.
Even in Boston.
Did you feel out of place in Boston?
I didn't feel out of place, but everyone told me that they saw me in California,
Yeah.
and I was like, or in like Hawaii or something, and I just was like, okay, I guess I'm going there.
And then when you got here, it clicked.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
I
okay, I
still,
get why people think that.
like, I don't know if I'll live here for the rest of my life, but for now, it feels right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As I was saying to you on the phone, I almost positive I went to one of your shows at the Middle East.
That would have been the first like legit show.
Was it downstairs?
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah, that was the
That's
first.
a big deal, bro. Do the downstairs.
Yeah, that was definitely the first legit show that I had done. I had done a few like here and there. I did my first show as Caye. I obviously was gigging, playing steel drum, jazz,
Where were you doing that?
just all over Boston, New Hampshire. I used to have
Like what
this,
venues?
like jazz clubs.
Lily Pad in Inman Square. You ever do
Lily
that?
Pad used to hit that like all the time
Yeah.
in 8th grade.
Terrible acoustics.
What
in
was
there.
that? Yeah. What was that one? I want to say Johnny Rockets, but it's not Johnny Rockets.
Johnny Rockets. Damn, you were really hustling when you were starting out.
There was this one bar in Arlington or Somerville or something that we used to always hit way back when I was like really young. I can't remember.
Was Tavern in the Square? Or...
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
The
Maybe
99?
maybe it'll come to me. Yeah. No, but yeah. And then I did one show at Out of the Blue, which is an art gallery,
Okay.
and they had like
How old are you at this time?
16, 17.
Got it.
This is my first show. Maybe I was 16, 17. Like a junior in high school. And they had little artists come and like they would sell, I don't know, 40 tickets, 50 tickets, and it would be like a nice little gathering. But it was an art studio, so there's like a lot of like delicate shit. And me and a couple of my friends just hustled to sell that show out, and it was like the first show, so we made it a big deal.
Nice.
And we ended up selling like 350 tickets,
Holy shit.
all to like
An art gallery.
rowdy junior and senior high school kids who came like hammered.
They
and,
brought nips in.
yeah, they were all just getting lit and so hyped for this hip hop show because that's what I was doing at the time. And the art studio, like, they could not handle it. They started freaking out. They shut me down in a song before the
Really?
set was finished, and everyone was going crazy. Yeah, it was fun.
I'm
But
sure-
then after that, the Middle East downstairs was, I think, the next show or one of the next shows.
Oh, wow.
But that was the first one where I was like, okay, this.
So
is,
you're like 17, 18 when you're doing this?
Yeah.
Damn, okay.
Yeah, that show was. I realized that I could actually do music.
Early.
Because I didn't make that much out of that show, but like headlining a show like that, selling out the
The
downstairs,
Middle
like,
East, yeah.
it's money, and I'm like, oh shit, like music can make money.
For
This
sure.
is crazy.
And that's like that's probably the biggest check you could get as an independent artist in Boston is selling the Middle East.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
Think
yeah,
about it. Unless you go to Paradise.
unless you can go to Paris or House of Blues or something, or
For sure. But at that point, you do
But-
House of Blues, you're probably not independent anymore.
yeah. Well, we'll
Who
see.
knows? Who knows? You're right.
Yeah.
Now when you and your guys were hustling to sell at the art gallery, were you just like hyper focusing on the ISL? Like, is that how you spread the word, kind of?
We just went around like
Because you're BC High.
BC
I guess
High.
that's not the ISL.
It's not that. It's
a Catholic league, right?
Catholic conference or
But
something.
those are all dude schools, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we went around our school and just sold tickets. It was kind of like it felt like we were selling drugs because we
Really?
had like I gave like 3 of my friends 100 tickets each or something, and they all went around with in their back pocket, and they were like, "Yo, you should come to the show, like get some hard cash back and bring it back." But then we would outsource too because there are the sister schools, and then also like everyone has someone they want to bring.
Was it Dana Hall?
Not Dana Hall, Notre Dame.
Okay, Notre Dame Prep. Yeah.
Notre Dame. And there's a few others that I'm blanking on right now. Yeah, that was the main sister school though.
Okay. Yeah, I remember like I mean you probably remember growing up like it was the same strategy with Sammy Adams. Like you remember how big
Right.
he was? And it was
Yeah.
the same strategy like those schools, like get the tickets out to those kids.
Right.
And then so when you shifted over to the Middle East, did you know it was like that venue?
Yeah, I
'Cause
mean,
it's a big deal in Boston, bro.
yeah, I was just I didn't even at that time think about it like that. I was like, oh great, another show. This is gonna be cool. Let's try it. And it was sick that we sold it. It's crazy to
You
think
sold it
that
out,
we
yeah?
sold it out. Yeah.
Hey, dude.
Yeah.
I sold it out too.
Hell yeah.
I threw a rap show there.
Really?
I
Let's
went,
go,
I
bro.
went manic for like 9 weeks selling tickets.
Damn. Yeah.
$12 tickets. I don't think I made any money on it.
Yeah.
But when you pack that place, dude, it's like the best feeling ever.
Bro, and that's such a good venue. Like,
Just you feel the grind.
Feels, yeah, you really feel
Have
like
you been
you're
killed?
in it.
I saw Caye there.
You went to the show.
I was at the show. Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
was there with Jizzy Mo.
Damn.
Really?
Mhm.
Well, why were you in town?
It was, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was like June.
Was it summer?
June or May.
Yeah, feels right.
I just flown over to Boston from Dublin.
Wow.
So what were your thoughts on the show, man?
I loved it, man. I had a great night.
Did
That
you?
was one of my second ever concert ever.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I had a great time.
That's crazy to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Did you have any openers that night?
Yeah. My boys, Danny Diamond.
I know Danny.
Yeah.
Well, I
and,
met him the other day.
And Carson Murphy.
Okay.
Chase. I don't know. He always changes his name.
Oh,
He
Chase.
used to go by Chase
Chowder.
Yeah. He used to
Oh,
go by Chase
word.
Chowder. He
I met
doesn't
him
do-
the other night too.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh, they
he's the
opened
man.
for you.
Yeah. They're out here. And then
He just said he moved to Burbank.
yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
they recently moved out here. I'm happy for them. They're killing it as always.
So you remember the Sammy Adams days, those, right? Like
Yeah.
growing up?
Sammy Adams, dude, I remember the Mouthy days.
Of course. Store gang.
Dude, the Mouthy days are great. When I was in 8th grade, I got a picture like me and 3 of my friends. He
With-
came to our middle school just randomly because he was friends with one of our friends' older brother.
And he was a beast marketer, bro.
And he just pulled up and we're like, yo, Mouthy, let's get a picture.
Killer, are you familiar with Malfi? He was the first like real successful rapper, at least in our lifetime, from Boston. And his was just a force with the promotion. Like,
Yeah.
dude, he would roll up with like 50 people to high schools and like go perform on a high school stage, high school auditorium, and he really made like his own wave for himself. I remember he got a picture with David Ortiz and like all of his ad libs were like Dorchester.
No, he was rapping.
And white kids loved it.
Mattapan.
Yeah, Mattapan. And white kids loved Miss Newton.
Yeah.
You remember? Like, oh, yo, we
Yeah,
know
the
some girls in
acoustic
Newton.
guitar,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, all right. So you do your show at the Middle East, and then how do you make a decision? Like, it must have like you're 18 years old and shit's like growing for you. How do you make a decision? Either come out here or go to school. Like, what is going through your mind at that time?
I basically, so at that time in my life, I was playing tennis super hardcore and doing music super hardcore and then doing school. Like that was my life basically. And when I was probably 15, 16, that's when I hurt my wrist or something playing tennis. And I realized like, yo, I could, if I tried to go D1 for tennis, because at the time I was trying to go D1 and I was looking at schools for that. And I was like, if I tried to do tennis, like maybe I could go pro up for a little bit. But then when I'm like 35, my career's over.
So you were nasty.
I mean, I don't know if I could have gone pro, but I probably could have gone D1 if I had fully went for it and stayed healthy, obviously. But I don't know. I hurt my wrist and I was like, okay, I don't know. I could do this till I'm 35 or I could do music till I'm like 95. You know what I mean? So then I chose music because of that reason. And then started looking at schools in LA specifically because I felt like that was the place to be.
You felt drawn to.
And I felt like that was a great kind of stepping stone, one, to get my parents okay with me moving out to LA, to just find a school to go here. And to find, like, if I found a music school, I could meet some people quickly, you know. So that was kind of my thought process there.
And were they cool with it?
Yeah.
Shifting into music?
Yeah.
Are either your parents first generation immigrant?
My mom's parents moved here.
So she's second generation.
So she's second generation. I think she might have been born like right before they moved here, but I don't know what that means.
And is-
But
and
she
she-
grew
this
up
is-
in Dallas mostly, and then moved over to like the New
And your dad's
Jersey
from
area.
Concord, right?
My dad's from Concord.
I grew up in
so-
Lincoln, in Cambridge.
Okay, fire.
Not
Oh, yeah.
really. Pretty boring.
Yeah. Cambridge is the vibe though.
Cambridge is nice.
Cambridge is awesome. So, yeah. What was I saying before that?
I honestly don't remember.
uh,
So caught in the
tennis
simulation in LA.
to music.
Okay, yeah, this was
to
my question. My
USC.
question was, were your parents cool with you getting into music? And the reason I ask is because most times people have immigrant parents or parents from a different country. They want them to be like a fucking doctor or a scientist.
Yeah. I mean, my parents were always very supportive. I feel like I wouldn't be a musician if they hadn't forced me to practice when I used to play classical piano when I was like 4 years old or something because my parents wanted all of us to have a musical instrument to know how to play. Just, that was they wanted
You have a brother and a
brother and a sister.
Okay,
My
cool.
brother started on violin, my sister started on cello.
damn.
Um,
You guys were just winners over at your house, man.
they
Dominant household.
They were like, we got to do music or something. I don't know. But I chose piano. I think it could have even been like the Belmont public school system. They had everyone, there was like 1 year where we had to play band or something. and
Where'd you go,
everyone-
Burbank?
No,
Wellington? Oh, Winbrook. You're one of those guys.
Winbrook.
Okay, that was
Yeah.
the smallest school, right? Of
Yeah,
all four.
I think so. I don't know. It was, I don't know.
Did you do Chenery as well?
No, I left in 3rd grade and went to Shady Hill.
That's what Frick was saying. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that's, yeah.
Okay,
Frick
word.
was there
Sorry to
too.
interrupt you. Go ahead.
Yeah, no.
I'm just getting pumped. I miss home, man.
Dude, it's so nice to talk about
I know.
Boston shit in LA. It's like being at Sunny McLean's. You feel like you're in Boston when you're in there.
No, you feel like you're in Dorchester, bro.
Yeah, true. But then you step out and you're like, what the fuck? Where am I? You
I
know what
walked
mean?
into Sonny's probably one of the first times I went, and some 90-year-old man grabbed my wrist. Guy hadn't seen a ray of sun in 10 years. White as hell. Casper the Ghost. He grabs my wrist and he looked at me and goes, "Are you Kevin Doyle's son?" And I was like, "No, I'm not Kevin Doyle's son. What the fuck?" I was, "Oh, sorry, you look exactly like Kevin Doyle's son."
Bro, that's hilarious.
That's a great spot.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. All of the security guards are like, trying just that have that Boston mentality. Like my girlfriend was late getting into the game 6 of the finals, and their line, like, it was at capacity. No one's leaving in the middle of the game. She was like halfway through the line. I'm like, yo, bro, like, can I get her in? Usually you talk to people in LA and they're like, no, I can't do anything about it. But this guy was like, compensation.
You got
is,
20 bucks?
Yeah, I gave him like $20 and he was like, all right, word. And I'm like, okay, we're back.
Sorry.
Um,
So you're hustling on the violin growing up.
Yeah, no,
No,
piano.
your brother's doing the
Yeah,
violin.
he was doing the violin. I was doing piano. I like did not enjoy. I didn't love music until I got older, but they forced me to practice classical piano when I was younger, and I was grinding on it, not loving it. But then I started to realize that I love other types of music, so I started playing like more rock shit and whatever, jazz, pop.
Are you using like Logic, Fruity Loops at all at this time, learning how to
No,
produce?
I was like 10.
Okay.
But then when I was 11, I switched to drums, and then found the steel drums shortly after, and that's when I started producing when I was like 12, 13.
Okay.
I started on GarageBand with one of my homies, Daniel, from Cambridge.
Shout out to Daniel.
Shout out to D-Dub.
D-Dub.
And we were just making beats, putting them out on YouTube and like spamming comments of other. This is the OG marketing campaign was we would comment like, yo, check out my music on a big YouTube video, and then make like 40 YouTube accounts and like it 40 times so that the comment went to the top, and then other people started liking it because it had likes, and then that would be people's in to find the beats.
Bro, that's not the OG tactics.
Yeah, that was
I'm gonna do that tonight.
That was my OG tactic right there.
So I'm gonna make this interview blow
Yeah,
up, bro.
right.
No, what I would do when I went to Providence College, Rhode Island, what I would do is, and that's where I started making YouTube videos and sketches and stuff. What I would do is when I would upload a video, I would then go to the computer lab, and I would open up Reddit accounts on every single computer, and then I would flood a Reddit post on all the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good move,
It honestly didn't work.
dude. Yeah, I mean, it's give or take.
Worth a shot.
Yeah, but yeah, I started producing around then, and then shortly after got Logic, And then I was making like EDM dance shit, which was terrible.
But I saw you got back into that though. I listened
What?
to Happy before I got here. That's like kind of EDM,
Yeah, I
right?
guess so. Yeah. I mean, at this point now, everything is kind of culminating to a point of I went through a lot of phases of different music genres. So now at this point, it's kind of all. Now I feel like I'm at a point where I've put in the time and work on so many different things that I can make the stuff that I actually want to make and what I'm hearing and like take it out of my head, which has taken a long time to get to this point. But yeah, I don't know. I was making EDM shit, then some like flumier type stuff, and then I got a microphone to record other people on my shit because I was like, okay, the next step for a producer. And then I just started like fucking around behind closed doors and recording some raps because actually in 8th grade I was in a hip hop class for there was a like an elective in my school called hip hop. In 7th and 8th grade I took it.
What could they possibly have been teaching?
Dude, it was a group of like 5 of us or something in a classroom, and we had a hip hop teacher, Kabir Sen. Shout out Kabir Sen, he's a beast. And he had like a Yamaha Motif keyboard,
MIDI.
and he would make some beats on it. You could make like all the beats directly into it was like maybe an 8-track recording thing, and you could play like piano parts, some drum parts.
So it was a production class.
No, so we would like make a beat, and then everybody would write like 16 bars, and then we'd like go around a circle and rap to each other. And then at the end of the semester, we would perform in front of the whole school.
Okay.
And I was writing some pretty bad raps at that time, but
based on life experience.
Yeah, of course. Just the hard life of
growing up in Belmont,
being fucking 12 years old. But yeah, no. That was kind of like, it gave me at least a baseline of how to do it. And then I started kind of just behind closed doors recording some raps, and I didn't show anyone because I was like, I don't want anyone to hear this shit. But then my cousin, who's now my manager, I was making music with him at the time. He was putting remixes out as Thero. I don't know if you ever heard Thero on SoundCloud, but he was kind of like the Kygo, Thomas Jack, tropical house wave.
Cool.
He was doing remixes and stuff. And I played him one of the songs like in Cape Cod one year. He was like, bro, just put this out. And I put it out, and it did 10 times better than any other song I'd ever put out.
Really?
So I was like, okay, maybe there's something here. And that's when I started
rapping a little more,
putting some stuff out. And then it's, kind of just spiraled into what it is.
Now, you get this like crazy rush of momentum at the start of your career. Like when you reflect on that, like, do you ever think of what if I didn't have that and I had to like work 6 years to get to the point to selling out the Middle East? Like, do you think the trajectory of your career would be different? I mean, obviously it'd be different. It's a dumb question, but do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, so I feel like I did have those 6 years though, because like I was putting music out since I was 12, you know what I mean, or 11. I was putting out these shitty EDM mixes that were getting 200 plays on SoundCloud. And then I was putting out the Flumi stuff that was maybe getting like 1,000 plays on SoundCloud. So it was like a long build. But luckily, once I started rapping, it did pick up pretty quick.
Fast.
It was like, I mean, I think the first 2 songs maybe got like 50 to 100,000 streams each.
And you're 17.
But then the third song that I put out was Just In Case, which that one got, I don't know, maybe 250,000 or something. I don't remember the numbers at this point. But then I put out Walk On By, which that was like the first one that blogs started picking up, and I was like, oh shit, like people are listening. That's when I would go to school and people were like, yo, that song is sick.
What year is this? 2015, 2016?
That was 2015 when I was putting that out.
So Cousin Stiz was coming up at the same time.
I think so.
But it was just a totally different sector.
Yeah, different.
Wow.
Yeah, So that was happening, and then I put out Coma
Yeah.
like December of 2015, going into 2016. I was a senior in high school. That's when I was like applying to colleges and stuff. So that's when I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, because Coma just started going crazy at that time.
How old are you now? 24, 25?
24,
Have you
almost
had
25,
Is that scaring you?
coming up.
25.
25 is a quarter century.
I'm 26. Yeah, 25 was weird. Don't you think? 25 was a little strange, bro.
Yeah.
Keep
I
it
mean,
real.
I feel like I've arrived. You know what I mean? Like, I'm now in the real world fully, and it's time.
Okay, that makes one of us. Dude. I feel like I have the same brain I had when I was 14.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's still the same, but I just mean,
You feel like a man.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm on a level playing field with everybody else.
Makes sense.
And before, I always felt like I had that just younger,
Mentality.
yeah.
I get it.
It's the experience.
Have you always felt self-aware?
I guess so. I don't know. I
Like
think
you've always known who you were? takes-
no,
Okay.
not I think I started learning who I was the first time I did shrooms. Yeah.
Tell me about it.
When I was a senior in high school, I took shrooms and realized I had this just 3-hour just epiphany session of just what was important to me. And I realized like relationships, people, like love and connection with like humans, was number one for me. Like, me and my dad used to get in fights a lot. I don't know, he's like a stressed guy. He's
A type A.
yeah, he's like always like he has an immense amount of love, and like he
The
cares
doctor,
a
right?
lot.
Psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist, yeah.
So he's just
But he's like very, he's a stressed guy. And
disciplined.
yeah, and I'm not necessarily the most stressed person, so we butt heads in a lot of different ways, or we did. But I realized like while on shrooms, like I don't like that feeling when we can't be in the same room together without like wanting to get in an argument. So I would like the next day I wrote him or 2 days later I like wrote him a letter telling him I did shrooms and telling him I had this epiphany and like wanted to start working on a relationship. And now we're homies, which is great. I mean, obviously there's some days where we're off, but like
Did you wrote him a handwritten letter or email?
handwritten letter.
He
Yeah.
must be like, yo, my son is tweaking out,
Yeah.
dude.
No, it was great because we had a conversation. He was like, yo, should we talk about it? I'm like, yeah. And he was like, I've done shrooms too. Like, it was a great experience. And we like bonded over it a little bit. And like, it wasn't an overnight switch for sure. But
Do you think that's still your priority, is connecting with humans?
I think so. I mean, I would just say that first shrooms experience was the start of my spiritual journey. Because before that, it was all like, you're taught different religions and whatnot. When I was at Catholic school, I was taught all this religion bullshit that I like. I mean, I never loved school in general, but the religion classes like never made any sense to me because I was like being forced to learn shit that I didn't want to learn, and reading all these stories that like may or may not have happened, but everyone believes in, and then there are rules that people wrote fucking thousands of years ago that are now like, running society.
We were talking about this like 2 podcasts ago. Like, I had a conversation with a guy like 2 weeks ago probably, and I was like, bro, there's no way you could think the Moses story is real.
Yeah.
No dude spread the sea with his hands. It
Yeah,
didn't happen.
that just did not happen.
And again, the guy was like, you just gotta believe, man.
What probably happened was like a dude was like, yo, just wait. And then the tide went down and a sandbar came up. And like 3 hours later, they're like, oh, look, we can walk because the tide went down. Oh my God, this guy's a G. But like everything, then 2,000 years of embellishment happens. And now like, it's like, oh, you like see a superhero, you know what I mean?
Or
Yeah.
it never happened.
Yeah.
No,
Or it
never
literally
happened, bro.
never happened. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
So you took the shrooms, and then that kind of kicked you into this spiritual phase where you're just trying to figure yourself out, or
Yeah, that was when I really became more like aware of how I felt and how things made me feel. Um, and then from there on, like, I don't know, that was just like, that is what I go back to as like the start of the spiritual journey, at least. Just
so what do you
figuring
think? What do you think about God now?
out. I don't know. I feel like God is like that word in general, it turns a lot of people off. But if you just say, like, I forget, I was at a dinner or something the other night, and someone was like, so like, what does everyone think? What do you think about God? It was like some sort of question thing happening between two people, and someone was like, what do you think about God? And the guy shut down. He was like, I don't know, I don't fuck with that or whatever. And then she's like, okay, what do you think about spirituality? And he's like, oh, like, then opens up to this whole new world. So I don't know. I think that's a triggering word a little bit. Um,
You don't
but
think there's a God out there?
I, yeah, I do. But I don't think that people know what that means. Like, I don't think there's a guy who's up there who's like fucking like watching you and making shit like Santa Claus. You know what I mean? That's I feel like they teach you in Catholic school and just in general that God is Santa Claus in a lot of ways. Not Santa Claus like straight
It's
one to
an
one, but
omnipresent man who's
yeah,
like kind of watching
just
your every move.
just like a thing, a person. I think like God to me is the world, just the fact that the unexplainables almost. Like the fact that the world is works the way it does, the fact that we're here from like stardust that turned into organisms that over like millions of years turned into humans that can now comprehend that there's been billions of years before us. Like that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? None of this shit makes sense. But it works so perfectly, and that's what I feel like God is to me. Just
Whoever created that.
just the unexplainable is like, how are we on a rock that's the perfect distance from this burning bigger rock that gives us the right amount of heat and cold to like house life forms. You know what I mean? How how is that a thing? But it is, and to me that's what God is.
There's a book I read recently called Principles by Ray Dalio. Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah.
So
I got the app and I was like working my way through, but I never finished it.
so essentially, like his philosophy is that what's going on right now in humanity is everyone needs to coexist to push the ball down the field for the greater good.
Mm.
Do you think that's where humanity is headed for uh like a greater good?
I hope so.
But do you think that? Do you think like we're here because essentially he's like humans evolve over time and the dominant traits that help progress humanity forward will prevail and the weak traits will die off.
Mm.
But it's all headed towards something good in a more advanced species. Do you think that?
I believe that. I don't know if I can say, it's just hard to think that in a day-to-day life with everything that happens every other day, you know? Um but I do believe that, I would say.
How do you separate yourself from feeling self-important? Because I feel like just
Mm.
based on meeting you now, you're somewhat egoless.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
I feel like that's like impossible, you know what I mean? Everyone only has their own perspective. So
Mhm.
like no matter what, your world does revolve around you because it's the only perspective you have. But at the same time, like I've done a lot of work of trying to break that because I think, I mean, even going back to music, I feel like you can't create anything great by yourself. Like you need, going back to any, like just anything, you know what I mean? You need multiple people or a ton of people. Like the best shows I've ever been to, concerts, the best songs I've ever heard, the best, you know, buildings that were ever built. Like that's not one person doing that. That's like a fuckload of people like getting their heads together and like pushing. So pushing that rock down the field for the greater good. Like I think that humans are very capable of that. But I think it's kind of, I don't know. I mean, there's also people pushing the other way. Always.
I've tried to be really conscious about that since I've been out here because we are in such a place where you have to be selfish to get your own stuff going. Like, it's just hard when you're in this environment sometimes not to be selfish. Do you feel me when I say that? Or
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
so how have you been cognizant of that the last 6 years? There's been like, I'm just not trying to take shortcuts out here. I don't want to do wrong by anybody. I want to develop real relationships with people. But everything moves so fucking fast out here, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't and out here like a lot of people are being selfish and just thinking about themselves and just trying to go, you know, do what helps them.
I innately like, I mean, but we're both out here for selfish reasons. Like,
Right.
we want to reach
Totally.
another level. We want to grow our careers.
Right. And like, you know, I think I don't know, I think that truly the people who will end up surrounding you if you are selfless as you can be and are trying to be as good as possible and not being selfish, like you're going to surround yourself with people who are like that because there is like when you meet someone new, you can tell if they are here for themselves or here for like you or not even you, just like the greater good, right?
Understood.
And you can, I mean, you can tell, and everyone can tell, even if it's just like a vibe thing. Like I didn't fuck with that dude's vibe, or I did fuck with that dude's vibe. But
I feel like you probably have a better radar on that than I do, though.
I don't know. I mean, I've worked on my radar definitely, and I mean, worked on like
You've probably been
just
jaded.
experienced
Yeah.
a lot here, and yeah. I mean, you'll if you don't already, you'll get there.
You're gonna get fucked over at some point, bro.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it happens.
One thing I liked, we had a dude on here. He was like, "Bro, like LA is just kind of like a marathon. Like it's just gonna take a long time."
Yeah.
Have you been able to adopt that mentality? It's tough when you're young, especially because you had such a hot fucking right off the rip. You were in the mix.
Yeah. No, it definitely has like. I felt like that year after my first year, I was like, it's a wrap. I'm good. Like this shit's about to go off.
You saw Wiz Khalifa. You're probably
Yeah.
like, "Yo, let's fucking."
Yeah, I was like,
How old are you? 18?
yeah, I just turned 19, I think. And I had a song with Wiz. I was about to go on my first tour. I was like, oh, it's a wrap. Just dropped out of school. Come on. But I was with a management group at the time, and like, I think there were, you know, they had a different perspective on like, you know, they came up 20 years ago. The game had changed. They were really great at a lot of things. I learned so much from them. But like at the end of the day, it wasn't the right fit, and that taught me a lot too. Because like, if I'm rolling with this crew of people that's like not fitting, everyone we interact with is gonna feel that. You know what I mean? Everyone who we talk to on podcasts or radio or like every show, even like something's gonna be a little bit off, and it's not all like gelling, and people are gonna feel that energy, and it's just not gonna work as well as it would if
Was this the
whole
first
team.
management company you worked with?
Yeah.
I think a lot of artists go through that experience.
Yeah.
You cycle through managers.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm blessed to have. So my cousin Theron that I was telling you about, who I started producing with Daniel like when I was 12.
He's a day one.
Yeah. I mean, truly a day one because he was literally probably there when I was
Day
born.
one, yeah.
But yeah, he was always helping me. I mean, even when the first songs were coming out, he was my go-to to like, he taught me how to email blogs when that was a thing. He taught me how to like play the SoundCloud game and get reposts and
He's a
stuff.
hustler.
Yeah. He like, you know, maybe doesn't have 20 years of music industry experience, but he is a hustler. He understands me, and like he understands a lot about how, you know, things work.
Things work.
And
Street smart.
yeah, and like at the end of the day, I feel very confident. No matter what happens, he has my best interest, and that makes me feel comfortable and lets me be like 100% myself, and in whatever form. And I know he's gonna go to bat for me, which I think is being an artist is huge because like you need to push the boundaries. You need to, or at least you need to be very authentic, and that was I think the biggest thing with the first management company was they were pushing me to. I was also like 19 at the time, so like I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
19 years old.
Yeah, and like so I didn't have the same direction and focus and drive that I have now. So their job was probably harder too, but they were like pushing me basically on any trend that was working with labels. They were like, do that, like put cover videos up on YouTube or like post on Instagram every day, like 3 times or whatever.
You're a potential industry plant, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I can't do that because
That's not me.
they're like, be authentic on Instagram and post 3 times a day. I'm like, okay, well, authentic me would literally never post on Instagram because I don't like social media like that. But, you know, it is a great tool. It is a great tool. And so I understand, and that definitely taught me a lot of things. But, you know, that's, yeah, at the end of the day, like, you can't really be doing that and try to be authentic when that's not authentic. You know what I mean?
How did your ego feel when you are 19 and then you move out here and you're potentially saying you get a song with Wiz Khalifa? Like, how were you feeling inside?
Good.
You probably felt like the fucking that guy.
Yeah, I mean, it was really cool. I mean, it was like a little bit surreal, I think. I mean, we went in the studio, like met him. That was really cool. He's a super chill guy, obviously, but like also like very with it. Like really dope dude. But I think it was the craziest thing was like we sent him the song and we got back like his verse and it was like, you know, a real feature melody where he's like taking parts of my melodies and stuff and like playing with the lyrics that I wrote and stuff, which I thought was so cool. Like just someone like that on that status being like, oh, this is dope. I fuck with these melodies. Like I fuck with this beat. Like I'm gonna fucking hop on this and like take from it because it's good. Like I thought that was the coolest part.
And did you just think wins like that, they'd come like really easy after that? I would.
Definitely, yeah.
That was a great pun by me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the song's called Easy Is. I'm
Yeah.
a genius. I'm a genius. I'm a
Easy,
genius.
easy. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. And like there were a lot of wins, you know. But that at the end of the day there's just so much more that goes into it that I had no idea. You know, it just takes time and just grinding and putting shit out and like taking shit down
Mm-hmm.
and just evolving and figuring out what is actually you. I think
You think you know now?
I have a lot better idea now.
I gotta be really honest with you. I think I had a better idea of who I was when I was 24 than today,
Well,
which freaks me the fuck out sometimes.
I mean, I feel like it's always changing.
Right? It was just always my goal to make a big fucking movie in Boston.
Mm.
Always. Everything I did, it was every thought. And then I did it, put it in theaters.
Dude, I watched it too. It's
You enjoy
good.
it?
Yeah, I really did.
I'm glad, man. It
Yeah.
was always my fucking goal. And then I got it, and I'm like, dude, I want to die. Like, what do I do now?
Right.
So
Next-
now I'm in
next
LA running a
big thing.
podcast, I guess.
No, yeah. And I mean, it fluctuates every month for me. Like, you know, I'm like, all I'm working on is finishing this album. Then the album's finished. Now I'm like, okay, now what? You know what I mean? And then I'm like, okay, now I needed to work on the live show. So now that's what I'm like fully focusing. Then that starts happening. And you're like, okay, what do I do now? Like, okay, now I'm going and touring.
So you setting up a tour?
Starting to. We
Cool.
have nothing in the books yet. But I mean, we're probably going to do a few shows in LA beforehand.
Nice.
Start like building there.
Roadrunner in Boston would be sick. Have you seen that new venue that popped up?
No, Roadrunner?
Brand new venue.
Sick.
It's like 2,400, but you could do like a 500. You could do 1,000.
That'd be fire. Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, I think realistically, my thinking at least right now is that we're gonna do some sort of a couple months of shows in LA, and then see what the touring situation is like after that. Maybe like beginning of next year, something like that.
What are the venues out here like for an up and coming artist?
I've played the Roxy like
Roxy.
every time I went on tour for some reason. 3 tours, like every single time they played at the Roxy. I don't know if it was me or whatever. I love the Roxy.
Is that
it's
Hollywood?
A great place. Yeah, it's on Sunset, I believe.
Yeah. Okay.
But like a Troubadour, the Moroccan Lounge.
Rockin'. I saw
Um,
Johan Lennox's show over there. Have
sick.
you met him yet?
I have not met him.
After this, I'll link you if you'd like. to
Okay,
link with
yeah,
him.
I
Nice guy.
mean,
He's from Winchester.
yeah, he knows a lot of the people that I know, and I feel like we'll cross paths.
I'm starting to
So,
realize like a high school out here.
yeah, facts. But yeah, no, there's a lot of dope spots. Winston House, obviously, I got a shout out on the west side.
Nice.
There's not enough on the west side, but Winston House is the spot over there.
The bungalow.
Bungalow,
Not a great
There
spot
you
for
go.
a show though.
not a great show. Yeah, right, but
We're thinking about going there after this.
nice.
Feel free to join us.
True, the bungalow, fire. Yeah, did I say the Troubadour?
Mhm.
I don't know.
Hotel
Peppermint?
Cafe.
Hotel Cafe, yeah.
I gotta be honest. I've been seeing this new girl, and she's like obsessed with venues out here.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to.
El
figure it
Rey is good. The
out. El Rey.
Echoplex too.
Okay.
Um,
I would love to go to a show.
what's the one downtown? I forget what it's called.
Hollywood Bowl.
The Hollywood Bowl is dope. That's a really
It's a
dope.
big ass venue.
So is the other one that's like similar to the Hollywood Bowl. I mean, there's the
crypto
Fonda's
arena.
good too. Yeah, right. It's crypto arena. Crypto.com.
Yeah, Crypto.com arena. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, the Greek is really sick.
Okay.
Yeah, the Greek. You should go to the Greek. It's like outdoors, and it's similar to the Hollywood Bowl, same vibe, but like deeper in the east side. I think, unless I'm confusing. I think the Greek is sick though. My favorite theater. I don't know though, if it's actually this good. I saw Bon Iver back-to-back nights at the YouTube theater.
Is that how you say it? Bon Iver?
Bon Iver, yeah.
I did not know that. I thought it was Bon Iver.
Bon Iver, yeah. I think I used to think that.
You're calling me stupid.
No. I love Bon Iver, and I like watched all his interviews and shit, and like dove into his world. So that's how I know.
I could see you liking him. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a big Bon Iver fan.
Yeah. Who do you listen to now?
Bon Iver, Daniel Caesar,
That's dope.
Tame Impala, Anderson .Paak. Silk Sonic shit is dope. A lot of like my friends too, just unreleased shit.
Oh, bro, know what I was thinking? Bro, you got to connect with Claro.
I'm down.
She's from Concord.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I did. She went to. I might be wrong. She went to one. Did she go to an ISL school?
I have no clue. but
Both
it's
my
like,
brother and
dude,
sister went to school in Concord. So
where they
my
go,
sister
Concord
was
Academy?
no, they went to Middlesex.
Oh, word.
Yeah,
Oh, word. Okay.
but my sister was like in the same grade or something. She's like, "Yo, this girl from Concord school, one of the schools in Concord, is going crazy." That's how I found her originally. But she's dope. She's really dope.
The best, man.
Yeah, she's really
And
good.
no one really knows she's from our area.
Her recent album too was really cool. She was like pushing the boundaries.
Was she?
Yeah, I don't know if she's dropped anything since then, but like a couple months ago, I heard a project from her.
Yeah, I
that
used to
was cool.
love Pretty Girl. Do you know who that is, Kill? She's like alternative, so you don't. It's not like she's really like repping her city, but she's actually from Concord, and she makes amazing music. Her name's Claro. Really good, man. And I could see you guys kind of having like a genre crossover there a little bit.
Yeah, she's dope.
Why not?
Super dope.
Dude, on my phone, I had 2 questions that I wanted to ask you. I just want to make sure I don't miss them.
Oh yeah.
The first one, let me come clean with you. I'm a little confused. Usually when I preface a question like this, it's because like I'm going to cut up a clip because I think I'm being funny. So that's what I'm doing right now. We'll see if I'm funny or not. Dude, what is this thing? Can I tell you what I'm guessing it is?
Yes.
Is it a nuclei with hair on it?
It's an Issa orb, dude.
An easel orb.
No, an Issa orb. I'd made it up.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
That.
did you see it?
Yeah. I was. This
Well-
was so over quarantine when this stuff was being made. I was like locked in my house with me, my girlfriend, our roommate, and then one of my good friends, Alex, and we turned the garage into an art studio where we just like had speakers, ping pong table, bunch of painting supplies, and like a bunch of canvases and stuff. So I was like, okay, the world is shut down right now. I can finish this album by myself by just like making shit on the speakers. Like I may as well get the artwork done too because I have all this time and I'm not doing anything else. So I just painted like a bunch of canvases and I painted that little guy.
Really?
Originally it was sideways, so it was like a little orb. I had like this fixation with little circular things. I don't know why at that time.
And then what? Did you put it into like Lightroom?
Yeah.
You did?
Then
Did you
I
do that
edited-
graphic stuff too?
Yeah, so that's actually 3 canvases, and I did the orb, the Issa orb. It was actually originally this way. If you turn the phone like that, yeah, it was. Oh, nope, it changed. It was sideways, and then Theron, my manager, was like, "Yo, what if we turn it like this? It looks like a dude."
It does look like a little dude.
And I was like, "Yo, we should do that."
No, it's kind of giving me like Lilo and Stitch vibes.
Oh, that's fire.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it just felt right.
It's
I
beautiful
guess,
though, man.
yeah.
Makes me
Felt
want to
right.
cry.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I was just like, this is what the music feels like.
I would say so. I would say the visual definitely matches the
Hell
audio.
yeah. Good. Hell yeah.
An
Yeah,
Issa orb.
the Issa orb.
Okay, I got one more calculated question here I gotta ask you. Bro, you have gone through an impeccably tumultuous journey with your hair. Bro, every photo I see, you got a new damn hairstyle, brother.
Yeah, dude. It's
Look
been,
here, this must be the Middle East days, right?
No, that was maybe a year after that, but I think I was rocking the same hair at that point.
Boy had the Elvis look. Then you had, what do we call that?
The flop
The flop.
hair, Johnny
That's
Depp.
so that this is like
Johnny Depp.
okay. Well, I guess we can call it the Johnny
Yeah.
Depp. And then you buzzed it.
Yeah.
And then you had this thing going on.
Yeah.
And now you got this. So
Yeah.
tell me, do you like rebrand it every time you have new music out, or
I wish that I had that much forethought with my hair, but like, I just wake up one day, I'm like, I'm going for it, and then I just do it. Like whether it's bleaching the hair or like shaving the head. Shaving the head thing came through. Well, I had the long hair first, and then I buzzed it all off. But I was like meditating a lot early in quarantine. I was doing these like hour-long meditations every day, and I kept having this vision of like me rocking a shaved head with a fat beard, like being like feeling confident in myself and like
getting some
being
traps, feeling
yeah,
jacked?
just like feeling like like and then like being on stage and performing the music like that. And I was like, okay, like I'm gonna shave my head, and then I did it, and
Did you feel that way?
yeah, it was great. I love shaved head was the best. I mean, it's great. I love the shaved head, and I will go back to it at some point.
Really?
But
Did your mom freak out?
no, my mom doesn't give a shit about what I do with my hair.
Really?
She like she's hilarious. She like is very like, oh yeah, this is how it is now. Okay, cool. You know, but my dad would be like make snag comments all the time.
Willie,
Yeah, but
is he happy with the new phase?
when he first saw it, he cracked up, and then
Did
he
he?
was like, "Okay, it's kind of dope."
He's like, we can't control our son.
Yeah.
This guy's off the wall.
Yeah. No, but I don't know, the bleaching the hair thing. I don't know. I've always wanted to try it, and I did it. I don't know, a couple months
Looks
ago.
nice, man.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, I mean, it's all in house. My girlfriend that did it.
Did
So
she?
yeah. It's a pain in the ass to get it this bright though, because my hair is so dark, like naturally, that we have to do it multiple times, which is like probably not good for my hair.
How long you been wifed up for?
Almost 3 years.
And has that helped you focus?
I'd say so. Yeah, I mean, my girlfriend is like awesome. She's super great. She's a songwriter too. It's like definitely made me more. I don't know. I've learned a lot through the relationship, and yeah, I would say it takes care of that whole side of my life in a way where
You don't have to be out chasing chicks.
yeah, I'm
and-
not out, chasing anything. I'm not thinking about like I have that, and it's like a support system almost. I mean, it is like I have this handled. I don't need to devote half of my brain to thinking about that. You know what I mean?
If you're 3 years in, I'm sure you love your girl. Did you know that initially? Like, I love this girl, or how
I
did that-
definitely like I met her in Israel
Oh,
on a
nice.
songwriting camp, and like pretty immediately, I felt something different than I would feel with other girls. But yeah, I mean, it's always just felt like in the past I've had relationships here and there where, sometimes I don't feel the pull enough, or like sometimes when they're not there, I feel like I'm like I don't feel good or something, or like there's trust issues there or whatever. Like there was just never any of the badness with her, which like I'm always like comfortable with her, without her, whatever's happening.
You're ride or die.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we get in arguments here and there, and like we live together, but yeah, it's very like it's just it's really nice.
I feel like someone got your back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we were just talking about that before this. It's just like you gotta have like the perfect girl on the come up to help you out.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean it's so important. It's so important because
But it's such a fine line. Like it's gotta be a perfect fit if you're gonna be wifed on the come up.
Yeah.
You feel that way?
I do.
I mean, it seems like you found it. So
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens, but it feels at this point good, and it's not hindering my ability, which is huge for me because like I care about that as much as I care about anything else, like my music, and I feel like that's my greatest gift to the world, or
you're offering.
the thing I'm the best at, and the thing that my greatest offering, and that's super like so important to me. So that's why I do it all the time, and obviously
You're also good at it, and like you like it.
yeah, and I love it, and it I mean it gives me as much as I give it, but that's kind of like it's the same thing with her. Like I get whatever energy I get back 2 times, and that's like with music too. Like all the energy I give to that, I get back 2 times. So it
How now he's gonna make us wrap up pretty soon, but
okay, cool.
how how do you meditate? Like how do you do it?
It depends. It really depends on the like the month, honestly. A lot of times if I'm not fully in the mindset, I'll just do like I'll go on calm.com. I have a subscription, and I just do the daily calm.
It
It's like
works.
a 10-15 minute guided meditation. And whenever I'm like not like ready to like lock in, that will just like get me set. Before any session, I'll do that. Before any time I'm going in like working on any song or anything. Just settle me like every day. And then on the days where I'm feeling better, like, go to a nice place, go outside, just sit. I always focus on my breath first, until I'm like settled in. And then there's a lot of like different meditations that I do, but I would say like the simplest, my anchor usually is coming back to the in and out breath. No, if anything goes wrong or if I go anywhere else, like coming back to that.
How
And then,
long is a session normally?
I mean, so when I was meditating for an hour, like those were the longest sessions I've done. I did that for 2 months, pretty much every day. But that was over quarantine when like I had the time to do that. I don't feel like I have that time right now, but at some point I think I'll get back to it. But I'd say like between 10 and 30 minutes. And I'll usually do it before working. Like I don't start sessions anymore before if I don't meditate. Cause it's just like I think I've trained myself from doing it so much to like immediately get into that creative zone after a meditation. Like I do my vocal warm-ups, I light some Palo Santo, and then I meditate, and then after that, like I'm ready to work.
And you're productive.
Yeah. I would say that if I'm feeling antsy or whatever, I'm not feeling like motivated to go in, like that will get me ready and set.
See, I would really love to meditate and I would love to have that clarity, but there's a part of me that thinks like I really do feed off the mania and the chaos. You know what I'm saying? And it keeps me productive. Before you admit it, I mean, you don't take me as someone who likes feeding off the chaos, but do you know what I'm saying? Like, would it strip me of my powers if I started it?
I mean, I feel like you got to try it. You know what I mean? Some people might say yes. I think it gives you just clarity of mind and like if there's chaos, it depends how you use it too. Like if you're using it to motivate you, you can do that too. You know what I mean? I think it just sitting down and just like thinking for 10 minutes a day,
I thought you're not supposed to be
or
thinking.
not thinking, just stopping and like feeling or like breathing or just like making things simple. Just for 10 minutes a day, like that's some peace of mind or motivation or whatever it is, just clarity. Like, you know, I think it's good for everyone to just take a break. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And then like there's so many other benefits of meditation, including like, I don't know, I think that stress is bad for the most part. I think there's a healthy stress. But I think overstress is not
But how do you
healthy.
tote that line? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You need a little stress. You need a little fear to keep you going.
For sure.
I told you, we
wouldn't-
come from the fields in Ireland, fighting for potatoes, man.
Yeah, true.
That's in my veins.
Yeah. I wouldn't say though that it takes the stress away, like fully. I think it like organizes it a little bit. It gives you time every day. It's like taking time to like plan your week. You know what I mean? If you take 30 minutes on Sunday to plan your week, you're going to accomplish all the shit that you want to accomplish this week. Or like at least do a better job of doing that than if you just dive into the week without planning. You know what I mean? At least from my experience, that when I do and I don't, I do better when I plan on Sundays. So like
I do the same thing.
You take 10 minutes a day to organize the chaos or just like, get ready for it. I think that preparation makes everything else better for me. But it is to each his own, you know what I mean?
Well, I think if I want to try psychedelics ever, I'm going to hit you up.
Yeah.
I feel like you have a good perspective on it and
Yeah.
a good execution plan.
Yeah. I feel like psychedelics are not like, I mean, they are fun. I don't ever use them as like a party drug. They're not, I don't even like call them drugs.
Kill, when was the last time you did shrooms? He loves them. He's a writer.
Yeah. I use them mostly. I usually microdose now, and mostly when I'm making music.
Gio, how about you? Have you done it?
No, I'm not that cool.
I think you're cool, man. Dude, before we wrap up, I'd love for you to talk about your new single so we can get you a nice clip.
Yeah.
So tell me about it.
Yeah, We Love Part 1, first single off the new album We Love. I'm gonna be releasing a single a month, basically for the next like 8 months till the whole project's out.
Nice.
So keep everyone fed with the music. I feel like, as I was saying before, like this is the music I've spent my whole life wanting to make but not being able to make because I didn't have the experience. But like over the last 3 years, I had the time and all the cumulative experience to create the songs that I've been wanting to make since I was like 10 years old. So like feels good. I'm really excited for it. Excited to play it live.
When's it drop?
First song comes out July 8th. A week from yesterday.
So it's out now.
It's out now.
Not right now. When you see this
When
face
you
and
see
that
this.
face, it will be out.
Just dropped on Friday.
Is it more Maui vibes or Malibu vibes?
Whoa.
Because with you, it's a mixed bag, brother.
I feel like if you found the point in the middle of Maui and Malibu, that's probably where it would be.
That'd be the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, somewhere deep. If they just met in the middle and there's a little like island of sand.
It's like Castaway. Tom
Yeah.
Hanks' island.
Yeah, just hanging out there.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what to expect.
There's some didgeridoo in there.
A volleyball.
Yeah, volleyball. Wilson.
Wilson.
We named my parents named their last dog after Wilson, the volleyball.
So is the
Castaway.
dog's name Wilson?
Yeah. Well, the dog passed away, unfortunately. But
The fuck, man. We were having a good time.
I know.
Come on, bro.
yeah, it was a kind of recent. It was in the past 6 months. So it was like a recent.
Damn, it's a fresh
recent-
wound
yeah, it's a
too,
fresh
brother.
wound. But-
Damn.
But yeah, we named the dog after that because we watched the movie, obviously, and we were like, "Yo, what if that scene was playing and we had a dog named Wilson, and he was like, Wilson," and then Wilson would freak out and be like, "Yo, what the fuck?" It's kind of cruel, but
I also, and I don't mean to disrespect the dog, but isn't it also kind of like a bad omen to name the dog Wilson? Because like that volleyball got lost at sea, brother.
that volleyball did get lots to see.
And
But
it was like a devastating scene.
but also like the big tennis family, Wilson tennis balls, Wilson
Oh,
tennis
got it,
rackets. So
got
it's there's a lot of
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson. No. No. Wilson
fuck that.
Farm though.
Oh,
You
Wilson
ever go there?
Farm.
Yeah,
I like that.
place hits.
Yeah, the place is fire.
Yeah.
Okay, this is how we start in the episode. Gio, thank you for your help, man. Kill, thank you for your attendance and your
Yeah.
positive energy always, brother. This is how we start in the episode. I'm gonna say it once, not gonna repeat it. Hi, your name, and this is my golden hour. Directly after no break, hi, your name, and that was my golden hour.
Okay.
You ready? You might want to look at the camera.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Caye, and this is my golden hour. Hi, I'm Caye, and that was my golden hour.
Well executed, brethren.
Got it?
Good to go, Gio. Thank you, bro.